Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Hello, future viewers. Hello. Join later in the stream. Hello to everyone. I have an announcement to make before we get into things here. Yesterday, we started by saying that we should perhaps move to later stream time. Perhaps start in the evening, rather. Because my inclination is that now I don't really have much experience with this. The only real I think that everyone's in virtual school right now, or everyone's in their classrooms, air quotes, classrooms right now. Also, I have my face cam again. No more push cam today. But yeah, I'm thinking that since everyone's in virtual school right now, or in their classrooms, I think it would be more accessible to y'all if I were to shift to a later time, perhaps 9:30. I'm going to shoot for 9:30 because that's reasonable for me, but I'm going to monitor your input, and depending on what you guys say, maybe you want it to be later or earlier, depending on how long you have to, on how long you are held up in your own schedules. But for me, I can't really do 7 because then I can't go for 2 hours. I can't really do 9 because it's right after when I eat. Just because it's kind of a tight window. So 9:30 is kind of perfect for me, except for on the weekends. So it'll be 9:30 most days. But on Friday and Saturday, I say we'll do maybe a 6 o'clock stream, and that will last about an hour and 30 minutes. It'll last till 7:30. Seems about reasonable. So on Friday and Saturday. So I mean, it depends if you guys will. It depends if BVMP would even be inclined to do something to partake in something like this, to attend something like this, or watch a video of this nature on a weekend. I highly doubt it. But yeah, I'll let everyone know on socials as well that we're going to be shifting to a later time. And I'm hoping this will just make it easier for y'all to come by and stop by and ask questions and get involved, and then we can start collaborating and and using things like Soundtrap to its full potential to kind of get us creating music together, even when we're apart. But yeah, I do want to use that Soundtrap's collaboration feature. That would be pretty cool. So for our stream today, we're going to continue our house project. To continue the work on that, I'm just loading backgrounds, and I'm also assist. Oh yeah, we're going to start really shortly here. I think this is a good angle. Probably zoomed out a little far because I had the camera on my desk here, so my zoom level's a little off, but that's okay. So once it loads up, we'll start. Okay. Drink this coffee quickly, or else it gets cold quick in this cup. Not that y'all needed to know that, but all right. So working mainly on our drop section yesterday. We did some stuff with our drums and our bass, and we're going to do more of that stuff today, more experimentation. We might even switch into using session view to create some alternative bass lines where we can play the clip in place of what's here. In fact, I'm going to make a couple blank clips right now, just so that we have framework for this. So let's just listen to what we have right now, and also not blow our eardrums out, and also make sure that you get Okay, also we're clipping because our master level is way up for some reason. That's better. And then nothing after that, so we can go ahead and fill that out, but let's just listen to just the bass line. One big limitation here with the groups is that when you solo something within the group and then you unsolo it, it unsolos the entire group, and then everything else plays. That's kind of weird. It should be that when you press this solo button, it has like a half slashed solo here. It should be that when I unsolo this, it keeps the group, the bass group, soloed. I don't know why it doesn't do that by default. I wonder if there's a way I could change that. I wanted to go to this specific patch that was adding in a layer here. Okay, that's a perfect way I could add some variation to that. So let's solo these both. So the idea is that this one's got a delay or a comb filter, I think, that's causing it to resonate on the left side. Well, I mean, of course it's panned left as well, but if I bring it center... Oh. Perhaps whatever was causing it to resonate on the left side, I think it was actually this plugin, like, messing up somehow. Maybe it's fine now. I still like that effect, though, where it's panned left and right. We get this stereo kind of feel. One thing I'd like to do, though, is reduce the amount of reverb effect that's on this. Then I can perhaps clean up the patch. Let's see. I'm thinking that, well, we do have a reverb filter on it, but we also have this reverb. I can take that off. Yeah. Yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, we don't want to have reverb on our basses for the most part. This one, it does have a bit on. Take it off. No need for it. We can add a bit of room into our group. Let's see. We've got this plain one. I don't want to add room to this the sub bass, but I do want to add some room to. Okay, maybe we can take plain phased out as well. What effects are on here? EQ8 and this. Maybe it could do with being processed. All right, let's put on. Let's put on some room effect here. thinking of the best way I could do this. Perhaps with a reverb effect that is like, you know what? I wish I had Logic's reverbs. I really, really like Logic's built-in reverbs as opposed to Ableton's. Ableton's got echo now, which is kind of nice, but it doesn't have a nice option for a stock convolution reverb, which is kind of a shame. So we have to go for something like waves that will give us a nice option here. True verb. What I would like to find is something that's convolution. Ah, yes, the Melda production one. That's right. Should work. We're gonna go for something that's really, really, like really short, but kind of makes it feel like it's in a club, sort of. So let's maybe look. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of options for rooms, chambers, halls, plates. Okay, let's go to this group and let's start playing it in a loop. You can already hear the effect it's causing. Music club. Let's try that. Chambers. Okay, let's try it with and without now. So with, without, with. That adds a lot, but let's mix it in. Let's kind of like tune it in a little bit. It's already 13%, but we could tune it down a bit more. Tell you what, another thing we could do is we'll use the convolution reverb, and then we'll throw on, well, throw in another EQ. Let's pull out this filter, and let's see what it's adding. So still a lot of low end. And all of that missing low end should be added by this, right? The plane, and also plane phase. So if I solo the whole bass group, it should all come together nicely. We might want to move this one out, though. Actually. Whoops. Whoops. Yeah, that's better. And I can also mess with the parameters of this sub, too. Like, we don't have to leave this one static. Like, I've got a filter on it that I could maybe increase over time. which adds some distortion. It's nice. Also, macro 3. I need to really name these. Which just adds some delay. So that's not really going to be great. Maybe for a transition, but not for just the bass line itself. Effects filter frequency, maybe we can raise that at the end. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Maybe even sooner than that, we'll pull it up. Oh, nope. Didn't want to do that. Darn it. Okay. Don't want to go up that far. Maybe farther, actually. Yeah, that's cool. Can't really even hear it. Then for the... Oh, I'm going too far. For this... Oops. Gosh. This is the same as this, right? Okay, so here's where I want to come up with another variation of this patch. So driller variation. I'm going to drag this down beneath this one, and I'm going to call this driller variation 2. We're going to create a whole new patch. We'll tame these a bit for now. First thing I want to figure out is why is it so phased? Or why is it so... Okay, phasers. That's why. I'm just going to take the phaser out for this one. Hyper's not going to be useful. What's controlling distortion? I'm going to keep the same distortion shape. Just want to keep things somewhat consistent between the patches. So I'm going to keep a lot of the same features, but I want to take out some particular things, and also change the LFO shapes around a bit. Let's deal with this noise. Maybe I just want to tame this and or remove it entirely. What's controlling the level of it? Oh, yeah, well, that would do it. See how much different, like, variety of the sound you can get from just moving the LFO shapes around? What is causing that pitch shift, though? Is it the pulse width mod? Oh. perhaps it's the distortion. It's doing that. Oops, changed patches. You know what it might be is the filter. That's definitely what it is. Now, the resonance. We want to keep down. Tame that filter a bit. Let's introduce going off the deep end here. Let's take it back to what it was before, at least in terms of this filter. Because what I was after here was this like stuttering effect. But I might just repurpose this LFO entirely to be part of this motion, to emphasize the main motion rather than have its own. Distortion's not even up. Getting all the distortion from then. Oh, the amount of FM. Geez. Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, let's maybe change this waveform. How much is this going up? Not that much, right? I don't want to remove all destinations. I just want to remove the destination to a level of... I want to reduce the amount of pulse width modulation on it. Where is this being controlled? Level of 10. Trying to find a nicer one. Let's find a nicer single cycle waveform. That's not what I wanted. The wavetable movement. Go for basic shapes instead. why it's so... Oh, you know what it is. Foam filter. Maybe we'll go back to LFO4 on this. Okay. Okay, we need a parameter that controls the filter cutoff, so that's going to be assigned to macro 1. We'll have an LFO that also controls the amount of FM. It's going to be a simpler shape. Can I just load up something like that? Maybe. Smooth it out. Smooth that one out. Let's have distortion also turn up that noise sound. That might be kind of cool. So it'll be brought up, then distorted. But then in between, it just sounds bad. Let's make the distortion then. Not then. I'll just make this more intensely controlled by the LFO. This is not controlled at all. Still not completely satisfied with the timbre as well. See, these things can take a while. Do I want to have that? Maybe I can do. Also, this probably isn't necessary. Is that another filter? What's mixing this in? No, someone will do it. Maybe if this wasn't modulated. Or modulated by the note instead. So now, let's take this. Let's move a clip into it. See how it behaves. Okay, first of all, these we brought up an octave. Quantized. Oh, whoops! I'm using the I'm using the wrong patch here. Whoops! I need to actually just delete these. This, then move that down instead. Whoops. No. Still not completely satisfied with that filter. Maybe let's use not like a comb, but let's actually just use one that affects the frequencies rather. So let's use a notch and a high pass filter. What in the what? Oh, whoops. Oh, of course. I changed the other one. Darn it, what was this? Ah! What was this? I think it was a comb. I'm not sure. Darn it. Is that a reverb? I think it was the reverb filter. I have no clue. Okay. Oh, I was editing this one. Okay. Everything's fine. But what I don't understand is why I don't hear this one at all. Oh, it's because the filter mix is not all the way up. It's controlling the cutoff. Let's have it controlled by this. Oh, you know what it was? It was the note. That was what was controlling the cutoff. I think I've tuned it pretty well, actually. Let's change the cutoffs a bit. All the way down, it should sound a lot lower. And this includes the noise. Okay, well that's kind of lame, of course, but we'll okay, so I got an idea here. Let's solo the bass. You should be a little bit forward. So another one not playing. Oh, it's because this note is cut off. Yeah. All right, with this as well. Whoops, I pressed option. Did this one not play again? Oh, there we go. Maybe it should be quarters there. It should be that. Could use some wavetable modulation as well. Well, it is modulating it a little. So what I just did there is I moved the EQ before the saturator so that the low frequencies were cut out before they get distorted by saturator again, and that leads to a brighter, higher frequency range because we are sending in less information, sending in less energy, and therefore it's getting distorted more. Therefore becomes a lot more present. I can also mess around with the color of it, right? Bring this back in. Aha, we need to copy a different rhythm here. So perhaps here what we'll do is we'll take the first note. Okay, I'm going to copy this clip here. Copy it to this track, and we'll alternate between notes. So for this first one, we'll turn it off, and then so we'll get an alternating between the two patches here. We want to make sure that the filter is down, or the comb filter is down here. So I think it's FX filter wet that we want to change. Yeah, that's it. And then this one I want to extend. Turn this one off, extend this one. You get the idea. So now, oops, if I play these two together, like that. Okay, so I'd like to also speed up the LFO here. LFO 3 rate, I believe it is. Perfect. Can I do that with this one too? How would that sound? Probably pretty good. if I brought the last two notes here to be eighth note speed, I soloed the patches. Wait a minute. Wait, I'm doing this wrong. That's not going to do anything. Because it needs to be on the same patch, on the same channel. So then maybe if I did it with this patch here, I would have to do it down here, obviously. Boop, boop. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's bring it up for the last three notes, actually. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Another thing I'd like to do before I continue is I'd like to compress them a little bit. We've got this, but this is mostly an enhancer, like an EQ sort of thing. I'd like to use some compression in it. So let's add a compressor. Let's add the multiband dynamics first of all. I want to use OTT. I'm going to solo the uppers. Less low end. I'm just trying to get the balance right between these two patches here. Also, the sidechain isn't taking nearly as much of an effect as it should have. Because then if we add the kick in with that, right? Okay, we can take out that little there, and that one too. Then yeah, now it's kind of more of a one coherent thing. The problem is we've lost our stereo image because we've compressed everything. So maybe I need to pull back on the amount of OTT, and the multiband convolution isn't helping either because it's kind of reverberating everything on both the left and right channel. So I wonder if there's a way to separate the reverbs, to maybe have one reverb for the left, one reverb for the right. There ought to be left plus right. There we go. Left, right. The left processes both channels, but inverts the right one. Okay, wow, we have a lot of options here. Process the mid and side contents separately. That's what I want. Yes, 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 yes. So now, is it? Are we looking at the mid right now? Or are we looking at the side? Pull it up some. Aha. That's pretty good. Okay, so I'm just messing with the convolution reverb there. Different sound that it's mixing with. I talked about convolution reverb, how it's based on a impulse response, and I was just changing the sound that it was mixing with to create that reverb. Man, that's some cold coffee. Disgusting. One thing I'd like to do here is perhaps pull back on the pre-delay, and maybe want to pull back on the... Let's try dark. I haven't really gone into this plugin too much, actually. Alright, well, I'll figure this out more in depth off stream. But yeah, we've got a basic convolution reverb in there. That's all I really need to do with that. Oh yeah, and the other thing we wanted to do is pull back the pre-delay. Right, that's why we went in there in the first place. Oh, scatterbrained. Okay. So we want to go back to our main window here, and we want to pull back that pre-delay. Okay. Let's use something similar here. So I'll bring this back in. Then I'll just start changing more things with it. Changing automation. Have the filter cut off rise this time. In fact, I could have it rise or fall this time. Something can happen with this. Another thing to do is we could bring our commessive macros 1 through 3. Especially this one, macro 3 would be nice. It's a delay. Bring this effect up. This patch can change too. I want to change the overall pitch of that note, or just like the overall cutoff of it. Controlling FM. Doesn't really do much, does it? Let's lower the intensity of the PWM. Where's this being controlled? course, I can turn up macro 1. Or macro 2, that is. Because that'll distort it. I'll bring it out here. What if this was also subject to... Oh, it never hits it. Oh, it hits it there. No, it doesn't. Kind of. Gonna change the LFO shape of this to maybe so that we can hear the comb effect more often. I want to change the shape again. That'll be cool. Yo, what does that do to the patches before the hits beforehand? Sorry, I'm playing this over and over. I'm just trying to get the high frequencies to come out a little bit more here. Okay, not that much. Okay, we don't want the, we want this. Maybe if I changed. Okay, that's the speed. Oh, of course. Macro 2. Oh, you know what? No on this. Let's just loop this. that. I'll turn this off. Also, not the whole mix. I can mess with things. Oops. That's about where it needs to be. See if this is side chaining. I don't think it is. Oh, it is. Not nearly enough, though. Bring these in again. Okay, oops. I'm going to copy both of these. Hold Option. I take these out. Yeah, what if I take these out entirely? Okay, I don't want to remove it yet. Let's just remove the clips. That's actually kind of better. I'm gonna make this filter in. What next? What next? Something similar. But not the exact same thing. Deal with these, or haven't yet dealt with some of these notes. I'm actually gonna make the bass more so mirror the motion of that down there. Okay, so now how is it going to transition into section of that? Let's just play from the beginning here and get a sense of where I want this to go. I'm gonna have to clean up that part. It's not quite. So the mix between the drop section and the intro section is not quite there yet. We need the intro to be a lot quieter than the drop. Like this, the bass needs to be the loudest thing, and right now it seems to be the quietest thing. So there's a couple things we can do to remedy that. Obviously, we can pull down the level of every other group here, and this is why particularly I like to group things together, because it's easier to mix things as a whole, or to mix small groups of things that are meant to play the same stuff together, and then just mix the overall elements as a whole, and it tends to work out better. It tends to work out in the end. Also, what is this? Oh yeah, so that's a transition sound. I'm going to move that into, I'm going to leave it where it is, but I'm going to make sure that it's also subject to sidechain. And this stuff isn't subject to sidechain either. That might be a big reason why this section is kind of sounding dirty. Let's move the bass sidechain over to the backgrounds group, as well as that transition effect. So that can go there. Transition effect could also use a bit of sidechain compression. Okay. That's something I want to do on the transition there. I'd like to increase the release of the or decrease the release of the compressor. No, not the release. The threshold. I'd like to change the threshold here. That way, the sidechain effect is lessened as it gets closer to the section. So I'm gonna maybe make this exponential. Copy that over to here as well. Oops. You'll notice. It's gonna drop back down. So we'll do that with the background effects as well. So we'll have to open up this group, and we'll have to go to compressor threshold, and we'll have to drag in the same automation. I'm gonna make sure that this goes back down. Well, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Does that start? Right about here, right at intro. No, right here. No sidechain in the beginning, and it starts to come in like that. Yeah, much cleaner. A lot. Reverse cymbals could help here. Oh, and also maybe some added sidechain. It could perhaps like fade out, maybe? Yeah. Oh, there's other notes here. I don't need those. You wouldn't just reduce the velocity of these ones. Slowly fading out. This is the sidechain trigger, by the way, so this will just... I want this to fade in a little bit better, so fade in a little more, so I'll go ahead and consolidate these two clips, grab all of the notes, delete them, except for the ones I want, and then let's draw in a little velocity ramp here. So the sidechain trigger notes are going to get more and more loud, and therefore we'll have more and more sidechaining happening as we approach the drop section. Cool. Like that, right? And then some sort of drums here too could help, like a build-up drums. Part of a different kit. Ooh, we can have like a breakbeat here. Let's see that. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Something like that. Let's do that first. 3, 4, 1. Okay. Quantize. We'll make the pitch of this rise as well. The pitch of this whole sample. Hopefully we can do it without changing the speed too much, or maybe that's fine. Let's automate this. Here. I'll bring it back down here. Back here. Yeah, totally. This going. Okay, let's try that instead. So we'll have the drum racks, or we'll have these drum racks in the same space as these kicks to give it some extra percussion here. And even some of it even like mirrors the rhythm of the bass, which is kind of cool. Move that? Hold on. Maybe change this. Yeah, let's make it on the offbeats. Cool. Okay. Didn't expect that one. Let's take this out for a second. Use that here as well. let's change this rhythm up. Okay. Let's bring it in with the rest of the drums. Not there. I'm gonna lower these, or not lower. Yeah. I mean, not turn off. Pretty much everywhere, we're gonna lower the auxiliary that's part of the main kit, because we want to emphasize the other tracks. I can take these hits out here as well, just doing some cleanup, right? We don't need these extra notes. They're not necessary. Let's make this a little more sparse. I already lowered these. These ones need to be lowered. This as well, and that should be all. At least for these. And then I can just take this whole section here, just duplicate it over. Oh, come on. Go. We have that, one more. Oh, I thought it was holding option. Well, I was holding option, it just didn't register that I was holding option. There we go. 4 repetitions of it. I don't know if the drop's actually going to extend this long. Yeah, it will. It will. It'll be a long one. Let's have a reverse cymbal that leads us into that next cymbal impact. I think there's one already on the kit. I might be wrong. Oh, you know where it is? Oh yeah, it is here. It is here, because look. That's what I'm looking for. I just need to put that there. And I probably need to lower this crash as well. Okay, yeah, I kind of want to have it like simplify like that. It's kind of cool. So something little like that, just to accent it. Quantize. Just make it follow the melody. What? Let's have it cut off like that. Or do that. Pull these back. Now, how can I sound? I'm gonna try to make it sound less like there's being chips eaten every time it hits. I think it has to do with the level of the noise, which is being controlled by LFO4. So I can kind of tune this down a bit. Delay wet. That's not a problem anywhere else, is it? Let's mess with the harmony now. So I only paid little attention to this. It's kind of good, but Maybe I switch out the piano for like a synth here or something. Yeah, that might cool. That might cool. What? That might be cool. Let's try that. Yeah, especially if I can filter it down like that. What does it sound like here? Does that not extend out through this right intro? Should it? It should not. But it should come out sooner. It's causing it to filter up. I don't see any automation anywhere. Oh, it's the group. Right. It's the group. It is the group. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, yeah. Oh. I'm gonna try to make this overall less shaky. Maybe we'll tune back on the convolution reverb. Yeah, bring that back a bit. Let's bring that back a bit. Here. Let's bring up the filter wet over time. I need this patch here. Yeah. Increase the filter wet here. We don't need to. Alright, and that can continue. I'm not sure exactly on what grounds it can continue. Perhaps we could bring in some of that atmosphere from earlier. But I don't want to layer too much. I kind of want to just develop and change these little figures here. Maybe I can even make some more bass patches to fill in. But I think that you know, substance-wise, we've got enough. We just need to figure out how to arrange it properly. So, on that note, let's take let's look at the second section here. In fact, I kind of want to separate out the second section and add in a little fill portion, maybe kind of a break. Okay. Let's use an auto filter here. Filter it out quickly. Where was it again? Got it in the right spot. We're missing the side chain. Let's extend this out. Or we could just replace it with the original clip. Let's continue the kick. What? No, I don't want that. I don't want that. Let's crash. Okay. Don't want the same filter motion either. Okay. Now we can take this clip. Copy that. Copy that. I kind of want him to drop out the last measure, very last measure. Whoops. Whoops. Splice. Copy. One kick at the end, that's kind of cool. I wanted to like sort of can high pass it, sure. But what we really want to do is sort of fade it out into reverb or delay. So we can use, I think we can use Ascend for that. Do we have Replica on? No, you do not. Okay, so I'm gonna, instead of using Ascend, we'll just put a delay on, I'll use this one actually. I'll put a delay on the drum track. Or can I put it on the, ooh, I could put it on the entire thing. That is a possibility. Put it on the entire drum group, and what we will do is we'll experiment. Obviously that's not going to be, I just want it for like the build up here. We'll have to high pass as well, so let's do an eighth dotted, and then we'll start to bring up the mix. So there it is, replica mix, and then I'll bring it right back down here. We don't want any more of that. Yeah, something like that, but we also want to high pass the kick so that it's not repeating that low end. We just want to repeat like the top end of it. So we'll use the EQ8's frequency A. We'll sweep that up like a high pass filter here. I'm going to make sure that we return it back to 24 Hertz, or else we're going to sacrifice our kick. We should also maybe this down. Yeah. Look at that context. Cool. Yeah, that'll work. And then we could bring back in the bass as well, somehow. For this refrain, I kind of want a version of the bass that's here, but not so active. How can I pull that off? all the parameters on this. Mess with the parameters of this too. But we'll do more of that next time because we are at the end of our time here, the end of this video, at least for today. So remember, I'm going to update the socials. I'm going to update everyone on the new time, but I'm about burned out on this. We've done a lot of bass sound design work today. Not really much in terms of designing new sounds. We did tweak a pre-existing. We actually did make a new patch. We did make one new patch, and I think we'll be making some more, just to sort of fill out little spots in this bass line that I want to have a particular timbre, like I want to have particular motions. But so far, what I've got is seeming to work just fine. So on that note, we're going to come back with this tomorrow later. It might not even be. See, this is the thing. Okay, I'm still unsure because my Fridays are kind of taken. We'll see. We'll see. If everything goes as planned, we should be able to go live at 6 p.m. tomorrow. I don't know if anyone's going to be available for 6, but I don't want to lie to y'all. I did say works out, however, not for the viewership. So I would like to move to a more appropriate time for those who cannot make the morning time. Busy with schools, so busy with schooling. So yeah, we'll be trying to aim for. God, I don't know, because the thing is, I'm gonna be out on Friday. You know, I'll have to update the description and everything, but we're gonna go ahead and on Friday and Saturday, we'll do not Saturday. On Friday, we'll do an early stream. Okay, and then the next day, starting next week, we're going to go live at 9:30, rather, not 9:30 a.m., 9:30 p.m. So be ready for that. I want to give people more time to get acclimated to the new time and plus you just won't be able to do it on Friday. Friday will be normal time, and then every other day will be 9:30 p.m. or later. Okay, so see y'all then. Hopefully that works out for more people. Otherwise, see y'all later. See you in the next video. See ya. How many times did I say it?